In yoga classes, you'll hear the instruction, feet parallel, hip distance apart. What does that mean? Let's take a few moments to explore it. Come to standing with your feet hip distance apart. What does that mean, hip distance apart? It's not the outer flesh of the pelvic area. It's actually right at the hip bone, or the ASIS. As you feel that bone with a big thumbprint inward toward the midline of your body. If you look down from that place to your knees, to your ankles, and to your second toe, and line up your feet so that those lines are parallel, you have the stance. Feet parallel and hip distance apart. Now, there are several other instructions that you may have heard in your yoga classes. One is to have your fists together, and as you pull your fists in toward each other and place them right between your feet, for most of us, that's pretty close to hip distance apart. And for some people, that instruction really works. Another instruction that you may hear is to have your heels together and your heels form a 45-degree angle, kind of like the military at attention position. Now, slide your heels so that the feet are now parallel. So you have roughly hip distance apart again. Now, in some classes, you may hear feet together. So why is that? If you take your feet together, notice how your glutes kind of tighten, and maybe you don't feel quite so stable as feet parallel, hip distance apart. The reason some practices do that is they honor the yoga tradition. The yoga tradition in modern times started with Krishnamacharya at the Mysore Palace. He was teaching boys and young men how to do these postures in 3 different sequences, now known as Ashtanga yoga. But most of us don't have the bodies of boys and young men. And with wider hips, a stance that serves that is very important. Now, for some of us, the feet parallel doesn't really work for our legs because we might have some misalignment. Maybe the hip is slightly tilted, or a scoliosis has affected the alignment, or there's an issue with your knee. So you may find that a better indication for you in your personal practice is to look at your knees. Now, the knees, just like headlights on the car, they have to be aligned at a certain angle so that you can see safely. So it is with your knees. If one knee slightly goes out, then you must turn your foot to ensure that alignment is proper so that the standing poses in particular are well served by a refined alignment. There's some tips that should help you out in your yoga practice for strength and stability. Enjoy your practice. Namaste.